I'm Jennifer Deane, the Outreach Coordinator here in Our Lady of Guadalupe Parish, and I'm here with my friend, Tom Gribbin. Tom and I have had the privilege to serve together in a ministry before, but today we're here to talk about a very specific ministry, the Society of St Vincent de Paul, and it's an international ministry. But Tom, I don't have a lot of experience actually serving in the ministry myself, so I'll let you maybe tell us. What does the society do, maybe specifically here locally?
That's why I'm here.
Yes.
To tell you all about it.
To tell you about
The society is, as you say, universal. It was founded by a young French student in the mid-1800s in Paris, but it spread throughout the world. And Canada has a very, very active St Vincent de Paul organisation from one end of Canada, from sea to shining sea. And here in Dartmouth, we have a very active, very, very active group in this parish, in St. Peter's Church in Our Lady of Guadalupe. I could go on about the role of the St. Vincent de Paul Society, but I know it's awful to do this, to read something, but there's a very, very simple, a very good explanation of the goal and the role of the vocation of the St. Vincent de Paul Society. The desire personally and directly to participate in the service of the poor by a contact between people, and it's a personal gift of the heart and friendship to do this in a community of other lay people inspired by Jesus Christ and our vocation to serve others.
We're all familiar with, the food donations that we leave when we come into to the church, but there's a whole team of people involved in this ministry that do more than that and do that direct contact that you were speaking of when you were reading that.
Well, it's we do deal with the poor members of our society. Usually it's people who are struggling. About 35 people directly involved with the St. Vincent de Paul Society. Every day, 2 people receive the calls and go out to meet people, and it's very important in their home. It is part of the outreach, part of the stretching a hand. It's not paternalistic. It's not judgmental. It's a gift. It's the church, the Christian faith in action. Now, I don't want to make that sound very grand and grandiose. We do our bit, but it's a small ripple in the world. There are 35 people. 2 people have a day over a fortnight, and there are a number of people who work in the food room, arranging it, getting donations, everything. So that's the practical side of the work we do. Yeah. But we get that from the community, from the members of the parish. I had to think about that, and I asked a number of people, why did I join this? And there was a long silence.
Okay. Because you couldn't remember?
Why do we do this? Well, in that case, couldn't remember, but why do you do this?
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember joining up 100 years ago, and my mentor was a small man who was physically small, Tony LaPierre, and because I was a new immigrant and didn't have a car, Tony was partially sighted and didn't have a car, so we walked all around downtown Dartmouth carrying bags of groceries, our chits for a small grocery store. So it was very practical. And Tony said to me, if people phone up the church looking for help, you're not going to question them. You're not going to say, well, why do you need this, or why do you want that, or this. You give it in a charitable way, and with grace and gently, and you're hoping that is a Christian act, and that is Christianity in action. So, but why I joined, I'm practical. I like to do things that are practical, and
but even those
holy rollers are, sort of, I like to do things practically.
But even that practical yes is still a yes to the the relationship with the Holy Spirit, right? And so when I'm hearing you speak, I'm thinking about how it kind of erodes down the boundaries between a service provider and someone who, sometimes in that world we use the term client, and it kind of can separate the relationship a little bit and make it seem like it's an us and them thing. But when you're speaking, I'm hearing you say, that there are community groups that are donating food, there's businesses that are donating food, there's parishioners that are constantly supporting the ministry.
Yes, indeed.
And then we've got the members themselves who are going out there in the community trying to erode those boundaries and to make it more relational. So yes, it's very practical, but it also does kind of establish the kind of community, the kind of Christian community that we would like to live in.
Yes. I think it's important that the people in the St Vincent de Paul Society, or most people that are not in it for their own benefit or justification that you can go home to a good meal or a good house. You don't think of that. It's putting, as you say, you're maybe not meeting Christ in downtown Dartmouth, but in a small way you are representing Christ in downtown Dartmouth. There are many families, many occasions where families with children, and notwithstanding the child tax credit, it's difficult and challenging if you are the working poor to have 3 or 4, 5 children, keep everything together. So a good pile of groceries kind of helps. We have stories where people say, no, I don't need beans because I am diabetic or what have you, but I could use cornflakes or fresh fruit. And so in many ways you're putting that practicality into the individually treating each person as a friend and neighbour. Part of our Christian philosophy is to act. And we are the feet, the hands, the tongue of Jesus Christ in downtown Dartmouth. And I think it's a very useful and practical and physical job to do. And you're young, you are 40. A lot of our people will not be seeing 40, have not seen 40 for a long time. So this is still an active job because you're picking groceries, you're moving groceries, you're climbing upstairs to meet people, you're standing chatting to people. So we need younger bodies. We need young bodies to do some of these work.
Thank you very much, Tom. If you want to know more about the Society, you can visit our website under the Outreach tab, or you can call the office directly at 902-466-6183, and we're happy to connect you.